Hi friends, it's so good to see you guys again. I am here at Fern Hollow today instead of in the church. We took a field trip. Because today we're going to talk about birds, one of my favorite subjects. I just love birds. Did you know here in Pennsylvania alone we have 480 different kinds of birds? Isn't that amazing? That's almost 500 different birds that we can see just in our state. We have big birds like a great blue heron or a great horned owl, and we've got little birds like our tiny little hooded warbler or our little tiny bluebird friend. Birds come in all shapes and sizes and live in all different habitats that we find out around us. Some birds, like this Cooper's hawk, will soar above the sky and swoop down and grab up prey out of a field or a meadow or sometimes even a forest. Other animals, like our friend the mallard, like to swim around in ponds and rivers and look for little creatures and little plants that they can dabble up or gobble from the water. Even our state bird, the ruffed grouse, has a very specific place where he likes to live. This guy, he looks a little like a chicken. He's a cousin. This guy likes to live in like a meadow area or a shrubby area where he can walk around and eat lots of little bugs with his beak. Now, all of these birds live here in Pennsylvania just like we do. And they all have special adaptations that help them to survive in the places where they are. So they eat different food, they can keep warm, some of them fly south for the winter, some of them stay here. Some of them build nests for their eggs, others lay their eggs in cavities or holes or things like that. Every single type of bird has its own special characteristics that help it to do what it needs to do. It is adapted to live in the place where it is. So let's take the example of my favorite bird of all time, the turkey vulture. This is Valerie, my turkey vulture, who sits on my desk here at work at Fern Hollow. And turkey vultures are super special birds because they're really well adapted to the things that they do. Turkey vultures, do you know what they like to eat? It's a little gross. They like to eat dead stuff. Doesn't that sound awful? I don't want to eat some dead thing laying on the side of a road. But turkey vultures have been adapted so that they can eat those things and survive and thrive and be healthy. They have all the skills that they need in order to eat dead stuff. And it actually turns out that it's a really good thing that they do that because they help to get rid of the old dead stuff that's laying around. Otherwise, we'd have dead things laying around all the time and it would be super stinky. So next time you go outside and it smells nice, thank your friend, the turkey vulture. Turkey vultures are also adapted. They can keep themselves healthy by keeping their feet clean. They don't have any feathers on their head, so when they eat their food, they eat the dead things, they don't get stuff on their head that might make them a little itchy. Their feet that are standing in the dead things, they actually go to the bathroom on their feet, and that works kind of like hand sanitizer to clean off their feet and keep them healthy. And they make special chemicals in their stomach that helps to digest and dissolve all of those things in the dead stuff that might make us sick, so they don't get sick. So turkey vultures are perfectly adapted to doing what they do best. God gives all of us skills and adaptations so that we can be the best that we can possibly be. Sometimes it's a little bit scary to trust that God has really given us the right skills for the right situations, and that can lead to worry. I don't know about you guys, but there are times that I really worry about things. I worry about whether or not I'm going to be able to go outside and do the things that I need to do. I worry about whether or not friends are going to get better when they are sick and in the hospital. I worry about lots of different things. But the Bible actually tells us we don't need to worry. And it uses birds as an example of why we don't need to worry. In the book Matthew, in chapter 6, verse 26, Jesus says, "Look at the birds of the air. They don't sow or reap or store things away in a barn, and yet our Heavenly Father feeds all of them." What Jesus is saying is God has given all the birds the ability to find food, and they know how to find food, and they trust God, and they are able to go out and survive and do what they need to do. Later on, Jesus says, "Seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well." And what he's saying is, if we trust God and trust in the skills and abilities that he's given us, our adaptations, God will take care of us. We'll be okay. Doesn't mean everything is going to work perfectly. It doesn't mean that every day is going to be wonderful. Some days are hard, and some days are bad, and sometimes bad things happen. But if we can remember to trust God, he will help us to get through, because he's given us all the skills and adaptations that we need to survive and to thrive in his world. So I want you guys to remember the greatest commandment Jesus ever gave us was to love God and trust him, and to love everyone around us. And if you can do that, then your world will be wonderful and glorious too. Thanks, and I'll see you again soon.